Okay, we're going to go over notes for 11.7, circles in the coordinate plane. The first thing you need to notice about circles in the coordinate plane is this equation. This is the equation for circles in the coordinate plane. In order to use this equation, you have to know your x and y coordinate for the center of the circle and the radius. So if you look at the picture on the right hand side, this distance is your radius and HK is your x and y coordinate for the center of the circle. So we're going to do an example. If you look at number 1, it wants us to write the equation of each circle. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to identify the center of the circle. The center of the circle is K, and the coordinates for K are -1, -1. This is my H in the formula, this is my K, because this is my X coordinate and this is my Y coordinate. So I'm going to label this one H and this one K. I then have to identify my radius. Remember, the radius is from the center to the edge of the circle, or to the circle. So we're going to count the units, 1, 2, 3. So it'll be 3 units all the way around, even if I start from here and go this way. 1, 2, 3. So my radius is going to be 3 units. Okay, so I'm going to take a second and I'm going to write on this sticky the formula that we need to know again. It's going to be x minus h square plus y minus k square equals the radius square. Okay, so where h and k are, that is where your x and y coordinate for your center of the circle go. And then your radius we just got, you're going to square that. So again, number 1 is asking for the equation of each circle. I'm trying to find the room for this. Alright, so we're going to write x minus h. And in this case, our h is -1. So if we put in a -1 right here, it'll become a +1. Square that. Plus y minus k. And our k is -1. So again, if we put in a -1 into this equation, it'll become a +1. Square that. And that's going to equal our radius square. And our radius is 3, so if we square 3, that's 3 times 3, which is 9. This is the equation of the circle. We're going to do one more, number 2. We're going to identify our center. That's letter E. Our center is at the coordinate 1, 2, 3, down 1. So 3, -1. This is my H, this is my K. From there, I'm going to identify the radius. So from the center, I'm going to count out 1, 2, 3, 4. Now remember, it's from the center to the outer circle, 1, 2, 3, 4. So from any point, it should be 4. Then I'm going to put it into the equation. X minus my h coordinate, which is 3, square, plus y minus my k coordinate, in this case is -1, so I need to make that a +1, square, equals the radius square. And the radius here is 4, so if I square 4, 4 times 4, 16. Okay, so these two problems are similar. Then we have this problem down here. They give us the center and they give us the radius. So what we're going to do is plug it into the equation. X minus 4, square that, plus y minus our k coordinate, 5, is going to equal the radius square. So in this case, 8 times 8, which is 64. Okay, number 4 is similar to the example that they give you above. So I'm going to let you try to attempt number 4 on your own. So there's an example here. First thing you'll have to do is find the radius. In order to find the radius, you'll have to use the distance formula. After you use the distance formula, then you will put your numbers into the equation. So you'll have your center, which is 3, 7. That'll be your HK in this problem. And then you're using these coordinates to plug into the distance formula by labeling them x1, y1, x2, y2. So first step, use a distance formula with these coordinates to find the radius. After you find the radius, you plug it into the equation using the center that they give you, HK, and the radius you found, which you'll square at the end. So that's how you will do number 4. Now on the back, we're now writing the equation of, they now give us the equation of the circle, so we're actually going to sketch the circle now. So this is the equation of a circle. So now we're working backwards. So we're going to find the center. So if we look at our little paper, remember that H is our x coordinate. So in this case it says minus 1, and this one says minus H. So our coordinate is going to be 1, and our k coordinate will be 2. And this will have a radius of 3, because remember, when you put it into the equation, you square it. So in order to find the radius, we have to take the square root of 9. So the radius is going to equal 3. From there, we go to the circle and we plot the point, the center 1, 2, over 1, up 2. That's my center. Then I'm going to go a radius of 3 all the way around. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, put a point. 1, 2, 3, put a point. Go down 3. 1, 2, 3, and over 3. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to connect them. And that's my circle. Not very pretty, but it's a circle. Okay, we're going to do another one. Number 6, we're going to identify our center. In this case, H is going to be 3, and our K will be negative 1, because if you notice it's positive here, which means it had to be negative when it was put in. So it's going to be negative 1. And our radius, again, you have to take the square root to go back to the original radius. So that would be a radius of 2. So the square root of 4 is 2. And now we're going to plot this center, 3, negative 1. Go over 1, 2, 3, down 1. Plot your point. And then we're going to go a radius of 2. So we're going to go up 2, 1, 2, mark it. We're going to go to the right, 1, 2, mark it. We're going to go down, 1, 2, mark it. And to the left, 1, 2, mark it. And then we're going to connect the dots or dashes. And you have your circle. And that is section 11.7.